We're live, and we're going to be talking about the Federal Reserve, the meeting they had, and gold dumping and Bitcoin pumping, plus everything else. There's Hedera news, there's Chainlink news, there's all sorts of things and charts. Also, I believe that I am officially live on X now. I'm going to be live streaming there daily, Monday through Friday. So we're still getting this set up and tested to see how it works. I didn't test it. I just made an impulsive decision last night. So we'll see how that works. I don't know if I have any mods over there, what's going on with that, but we'll see. But we had to branch out a little bit because that's what we do. We just keep doing stuff. If you guys don't know me, I'm WendyO. I talk everything crypto every single day. I live stream, 7 days a week? On X, I'm only going to be live streaming for 5 days, Monday through Friday. And we're just going to keep it moving and all types of stuff. To help support me, you could like, comment, subscribe, set alerts, repost, share, all of those things. In addition to that, the way that I'm going to be moderating the comments and whatnot, if you are a channel member, if you're one of my paid subscribers over on X, or you are one of my channel members on OECX, shout out to Boy T Space. But if you're one of my verified people, the ones that pay the $3 thing, then I'm going to give you guys special shout outs. Anybody else, we just can't do it because there's just too many people watching all at the same time. But I appreciate all of you. I'm feeling a lot better, Lawrence, than last week. Last week was hell on earth. October, I don't know what's going on, but it's been really, really bad for me and my family. Anything you can think about has went wrong. But at the end of the day, I've been through hell and back. So we're here. Got to give a quick shout outs to our channel members. Good morning to Lawrence. Good morning to Mr. R, to Mr. John Germain watching me from MRX, Mr. John Legend, Mr. R, shout out to Callie. Shout out to MJ Guzman. Shout out to who else? Mr. R and everybody else. Gorgeous Alexandra will be here soon, I'm sure. But let's go ahead and get into it and pick it up, and all kinds of stuff happening. I'm actually going to check X and see what the hee-haw is going on over there, because I actually used to live stream over there very, very long time ago. I want to say back, I don't even know, but ever since Elon took over, I haven't. So we'll kind of see how that goes and whatnot. But apparently we're live. People can see me. There's about 234 viewers, I guess. I don't know how that works over there. But anyways, let's go ahead and get started. First, we're going to talk about the Fed. You guys all know how I feel about the Fed, okay? Y'all know how I feel about the Fed. Not a fan of the Fed. But we're going to go ahead and cover it. So this is the little announcement over here from the conference. So the Fed hosts a payment innovation conference. Gold dumps, Bitcoin pumps. So the Fed is currently hosting a payments innovation conference, and they're exploring the evolving landscape of money, digital assets, and payment systems. Topics include bridging TradFi with digital assets, which that's already in progress. They just don't want to get left behind, because we really don't even need the Fed when you think about it. We don't. Stablecoin use cases. You guys know how I feel about stablecoins. Not a big fan. I think that it's just kind of an introduction to a CBDC, because that's going to be coming into play too. AI and payments. I'm okay with AI in certain cases. I don't necessarily know about payments. Would be fine, I think. Payments would be fine. Also, I don't know if you guys saw the news, but apparently the OF founder said that people do not want AI to be used there, really. They're not interested in that. And again, I think that humans are severely undervalued, but that's another topic for another time. We could talk about music, all kinds of stuff, because I got hot takes on that. Tokenization. We know that RWAs and tokenization is coming. And in addition, executives at Chainlink, BlackRock, Coinbase, which we've got a lot of Coinbase news coming up, Google Cloud, Circle, Paxos, Franklin Templeton, ARK, and more are set to speak. And we're going to be covering the Chainlink news as well. Now, Fed Governor Christopher Waller at the first Payments Innovation Conference. What does he have to say? Let's go and take a look at that over there and see what's going on. But he says he's bullish. The DeFi industry is not viewed with suspicion or scorn. Rather, today, you are welcome to the conversation on the future of payments in the U.S. Fed Governor Christopher Waller at the first Payments Innovation Conference. So I like the fact that they're bringing up DeFi, because DeFi is incredibly important. And remember, there was a bunch of crypto C-list or C-suite people, not C-list. That's just the music men I like to date. Sometimes D-level too. They're fun. But there's a bunch of C-suite folks from just the ivory towers of crypto that went and attended the to chat with the Dems, which is good, because we need that. Because if anything, when you're thinking about DeFi is not, and it is Tube Top Tuesday. It definitely is. Am I really 50? Is that really your business? Is it? I might be. I don't know. To me, To me, age is important, but it's not at the same time. Let kids be kids, that type of stuff. But age doesn't matter. It really, really doesn't. I'm just here living my best life as much as I can. Now with DeFi. So we had a bunch of folks from, like KRAKEN and Coinbase and whatnot kind of advocate on DeFi's behalf, which is good because also Paul Atkins is not a big fan of DeFi but isn't. And again, when I talked to Hester Pierce, she was more concerned about the disclosures. And, I can get behind it. I think disclosures are incredibly important. Like, hey, you're going to lose all your money if you connect to the site or do whatever it is. Now, with that being said, DeFi should be exempt from a lot of the regulations we're going to see with the Clarity Act and the Genius Act and all of those different things. And I'm hoping that that comes to fruition, but we'll have to see. And that's something that we do need to fight for. And you guys will all have to use your voices for that, primarily because you are retail. And if DeFi is banned or if there's any issues with that to where retail doesn't have access, then we've lost the entire plot with crypto. We really haven't. It doesn't really make sense. So moral of the story is that DeFi is important. You need to use your words. You need to use your voices. You can even just go to like local council meetings within your community and advocate for it. But I like the fact that they're trying to kind of segregate DeFi and not necessarily regulate it too terribly hard, primarily because it needs to be done the right way. We shouldn't be rushing into it. We really, 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 really shouldn't be rushing into it. In addition to that, because crypto is getting vertically integrated into traditional finance, it's getting absorbed. Bitcoin too, so people can argue with me about that all day long. But at the end of the day, DeFi is where retail actually can have opportunity to thrive and own their own coins and just really be self-sovereign and have that liberty. And also too, since you guys are talking about my appearance, I've got 2 pimples. I normally don't get pimples, but I've got 2. I've got one up here and then one on the side of my face over here. One on the side of my face. And it happens. We could talk. You guys talk about my age all you want, but just know I have one 9-year-old daughter. I have 2 step boys that are probably older than quite a few of you. And I have great genetics from my mother's side of the family. I'm Sicilian Italian. Also, happy Italian Heritage Month. Happy Italian Heritage Month. And shout out to my Romanian grandpa. There's my bestie Oak. She's checking in, making sure I'm okay. You guys give her a big, big, big shout out. She's my bestie. She's actually been my best friend for God knows how long. God knows how long. She knows all of my secrets. She's a wonderful human being. I adore her. But let's get back into the news. Okay, we got to talk more about. Oh, there's Mixing. Shout out to Mixing from the O Show, so we can see comments. People are able to leave comments. That's good. And again, it's the first time streaming on X. We've got 646 views over there, so we'll see how that goes. But I'm refreshing and just kind of taking a look to see how it works. All right, 646. That's good. That's fine. That's fantastic. This stream will be a little bit longer than normal because I'm kind of like going back and forth. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into the next story because there's quite a few to cover. Oh my goodness, we have an XRP story for you guys because my ticky tackies love that, and you guys on YouTube too. All right, now this is from Miss Ellie. She's talking about more information about the Federal Reserve and payments and all kinds of stuff, and she does a great job reporting everything. We get a lot of our news sources from her. But she also said that Waller announced the Fed will embrace the disruption brought by crypto and DeFi, not avoid it. We'll see how that goes. He proposed a new payment account, which would be a lighter, limited version of a master account. A Fed master account, if you don't know, is a bank account at the Fed that gives financial institutions direct access to the U.S. payment and settlement system. The new account would give crypto and fintech firms direct access to Fed payment rails without needing partner banks. That's going to be very interesting because I am of the mindset now, and I know you guys are going to get mad at me, that we do need banks to custody people's crypto for them because most people are just, they're getting wrecked out there. They're connecting to things, they're clicking things, they don't know how to use cold storage wallets, they're using shady exchanges, all kinds of stuff. So we'll see how that goes. But the new account would give crypto and fintech firms direct access to Fed payment rails without needing banking partners. I said that. These wouldn't offer full services like borrowing from the Fed. Good, because guess what? We can just utilize DeFi and borrow on our own. That's the power of DeFi, and that's why we don't want them tainting it. Eligibility rules won't change. It's a type of access offered. Fintech, stablecoin issuers, and payment firms could benefit directly. This could help companies like Custodia and KRAKEN. Love Custodia. Love them and love KRAKEN. They are a channel partner, which if you guys haven't already, if you do want $25 worth of XRP, all you have to do is sign up with my KRAKEN link. You can use a QR code. You can go down below. Sign up. I think you trade like $100 worth or something. And that's just not even or buy whatever. That's dollar cost averaging. That's buying and then transferring off to cold storage, whatever you got to do. And also too, they're matching up to 2% this month, which is really cool. So I made sure to maximize my deposits there. And the KRAKEN and Custodia have long sought Fed access. Actually, Caitlin Long has been fighting alongside Custodia for a very, very, very long time. And I appreciate all the work that she's done. It also may speed up access for newer applicants like Ripple, which Ripple is taking over the banking system as we know. So that's good. And Anchorage as well. So now let's go ahead and talk about the gold and silver dump, and then we'll get an XRP. So spot silver falls about 8.7%, biggest drop since 2021. Spot gold falls 6.3%. Let's go ahead and cover charts really quickly. CoAI is up. It's one of the gainers over there. I know, sweetie, I'm not live streaming on TikTok because they've been banning my stuff like freaking crazy. So I'm just going to stop live streaming over there for a little bit. I'm going to be posting less content. So all the content's going on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube, and then live streaming is going to be over here. But yeah, they've been absolutely terrible with TikTok right now, and they allow a lot of fraud and extortion to happen over there. So I'm just like cold chilling on that. I will probably start streaming again. Ooh, Evernorth flip MicroStrategy. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens with that. Remember, Bitcoin is the most popular crypto, and XRP is really the second most popular crypto. So there's that. Now, charts. What's going on in charts? And again, you guys, I don't do like crazy technical analysis like I used to do. For those of you on X that are watching me that have been following me for a long time, I'm primarily because I'm not really using leverage anymore. I'm not trading too terribly much because I'm busy doing other things. Okay, we're very busy over here, and I like to enjoy life, and I have more time to enjoy without doing that. So as far as gold looks, take a look at the gold chart over here. The gold chart. Gold's actually dropped down quite a bit. This is going to be what is this? This is our weekly chart. And gold has had a 6.41% pullback, which isn't too bad. We saw an all-time high of $43.70, and now we're trading at about $4,000. We do have decent support at about $3,900. We'll see what happens with that. It does make sense for us to kind of fall here and bounce, but we'll see. Market CIPHER, which another one of our awesome partners. We love CryptoFace, love what he does. That link is up there if you want. And it looks like we're going to continue to head down. Bitcoin dominance is at 59.86, so it's pumping. So alt should be dropping, right? Because they are supposed to have that inverse relationship, but it looks like everything is doing well together. Oh, this is the daily. I'm sorry. I thought it was the weekly. No, it was the weekly earlier. All right. So as far as Bitcoin goes, we really haven't done too much. Or Ethereum. We have some Ethereum drama coming up too. And yeah, guys, I make mistakes. That's what we do on the show. It is what it is. I'm a human. We make mistakes. We saw a swing wick high of 41.08, swing wick low of 38.59, and currently trading around $4,000. We're kind of figuring out which area we want to go next, but we are technically in an uptrend. Now, Solana is also green. Generally, Solana and Ethereum, we see a little bit of an inverse relationship there, but it's doing nicely, and we're back at $200. And it looks like we have a little bit more momentum for Solana to continue the upward trajectory. XRP is kind of flat, and I'm going to have to redo this chart for you guys later. But our bottom support is about $2.28. That's when we had the great liquidation back on the 10th. But we're moving up, but we're still we need to really break above like 254. Chainlink is doing okay, not super great. We did see a high of $19, but now we're heading back down. I don't know why, but who knows? Cardano ADA is at 67 cents. And trying to flip back above resistance, make it support. And then HBAR, Hedera, we're at about 17 cents over here. We're in this nice little consolidation range. So that's what's happened with the market. Nothing too incredibly sexy or exciting or anything like that. It is what it is. So shout out to everybody who's trading this shop, but I'm not going to be doing that. I'm not. Now let's get into the XRP news. So allegedly, XRP ETF approval may come soon despite U.S. government shutdown, says Grayscale. And again, Grayscale is a really good, they're a good source to follow because they've been like the OG TradFi people in crypto for a long time. So I like to pay attention to what they say. But they say that, because we all know that a lot of the, government's still shut down in the U.S., so it's causing a lot of issues for a lot of different sectors. If you're not from America, it might be a hard concept to understand. I don't know if you guys do shutdowns in other countries, but basically all of the publicly funded publicly funded systems and services that we taxpayers pay, those are essentially shut down to an extent. So there's some people that are not getting paid and all kinds of stuff. So the SEC is still operating, but it's limited capacity. They did say in this article that ETF and ETP reviews are among the affected government functions. Well, yes, because these are not priority. They're not. SEC is likely to accelerate approvals once shutdown ends, and I agree with that because Paul Atkins and Hester and other members of the SEC has said that. They just are operating in a limited capacity, so we got to be patient. And XRP and Solana ETFs expected to be among the first approved. I agree with that also. Grayscale sees a potential for a big bang launch of multiple single asset ETFs. I agree. I feel like the ones that we've already been talking about, which again, you can go to CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko. They have a section for made in the USA, whatever, and then you can kind of go back and check those. I think there's a section for the ETFs too. As to when, those are the ones that I'm really paying attention to. And those are the ones we're seeing our audience members across all 1.2 million followers on all social media platforms pay attention to. People are just buying and holding these types of things. And I also think that once we get the executive order that goes into law with the 401ks, it's estimated about $12.5 trillion, some of that will come into the crypto market. And again, that's just kind of what I see happening. And that's what could potentially kick off altcoin season. Now, should we do the drama? The Ethereum Polygon drama? Because it's a lot. By the way, I hold both Ethereum and I hold both Ethereum and both Polygon. I've been holding since like 2017, 2018, whenever Polygon came in existence. I've got a moon bag. Got a little bit of a moon bag. So let's go ahead. So this is Mr. Sandeep. I like Sandeep. I actually interviewed them this event in LA. Like, I think it was during LA Tech Week. It was like 2018 or something, 2019. I don't know. But I was actually live on X. So there's that. Now, let's go ahead and see what's going on over here. So he basically is kind of throwing a jab at the Ethereum Foundation, and I don't blame them. The Ethereum Foundation has not been operating in the best interest of the people that are building on it for a long time. And this is one of the things that I talk about a lot in crypto, is that we see these super, super, super smart people that are successfully able to create these really dope protocols, these really dope technologies, but they necessarily don't have the social skills. And that's why you need to, have, people that are good in communication, that can talk, that can do things. So that type of stuff does definitely matter. And I feel like that's where the Ethereum Foundation essentially kind of failed a little bit, is they haven't been able to articulate things or really listen to the community and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, but let's go ahead and get into it, because I like Ethereum, but at the same time, I don't like the way the foundation has been handling a lot of aspects of Ethereum in general. Like, I really think that they should have, are tube tops hard to wear? I mean, if you have something on your chest or not, I don't know. Why don't you put one on, Frankie? Put one on. Let's see it. Shout out to Karina for the $9.97 super chat. I greatly appreciate that. Thank you so much. And if you guys cannot, oh wait, we got another channel member. Thank you so much to Brian for becoming an O Army member. I appreciate you. Shout out to Gamer. Who else? Brian for the $1.99 super chat. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Shout out to Queen. All right, back to it. What was I getting into? I really think that Ethereum should have focused on $5 super chat for Lawrence. Thank you so much. Make sure to smash a like, repost this, share it, do all the things. What was I saying? I don't remember. Yeah, they should have been focusing on the layer one, on the underlying layer one, okay? Because when I try to send Ethereum transactions, because I'm old and I just send them on there, I don't really like using layer twos, but it's expensive and sometimes it doesn't always go through. And there was issues yesterday when we had the Amazon thing. We didn't like that. It wasn't good. But anyways, let's go through and read it. Let's see. Might do another dedicated video for you guys to kind of summarize. I need to get through the stream because we're going too long. So Sandeep from Polygon remains loyal to Ethereum and Vitalik despite receiving little support. He is now questioning that loyalty. So key points from the tweet, so you don't have to read it. And that's why you need to subscribe to the O Show on YouTube and watch me on X or wherever you want to watch me. But moral of the story is we give you the TLDR. Ethereum community is often toxic and exclusionary towards Polygon. This is according to Sandeep. Maybe not in these words. Polygon key contributors are increasingly sure their long-term commitment. They feel undervalued, partly because it's not recognized as a layer one. Well, Polygon is a layer two. Hedera is valued. He said that Hedera is valued. Oh, okay. He's talking about it being undervalued as far as price action goes. Hedera, and he gave Hedera a shout out over there. So shout out to Hedera. Hedera is higher than Polygon and Ethereum and some Ethereum layer 2s combined. Polygon already powers true layer 2 solutions, but they aren't acknowledged. Poly market. Ethereum community credits Polygon's success to Ethereum, not to Polygon. And Sandeep is preparing a final push to receive Polygon's layer 2 narrative. Vitalik responds. And I left a comment here and I says, I don't think that you I don't think you understand the underlying message. I don't. I don't. And I'm going to keep it real because this is like a lot to read. Polygon is probably the single most successful example of not just boring finance app that has been successful and provided value. Those types of comments, but it doesn't really address what Sandeep's concerns here. And we're going to get into that because it's also rumored that folks over at the Ethereum Foundation are not being paid what they deserve to be, and they're actively working on making Ethereum better. Vitalik did acknowledge Polygon's major contributions, including hosting Polymarket. He said that Polygon still isn't a true Ethereum layer 2 yet. I'm not a tech savvy person, so I don't know, but it sounds kind of eh. And explained that without a proof system, it lacks Ethereum full level security guarantees. Well, you know what? I don't really have a lot to say tech-wise, but I think that the Ethereum Foundation should be incredibly supportive to anyone who decides to build on top of them, because without users and without devs and without community, what are you? Where do you so I don't know. That's just me though, but I see a lot of this happening in crypto. And then this gentleman over here had to chime in as well on the whole entire thing. But basically he says that the Ethereum Foundation support seems inconsistent or unclear. Many builders get little direct help. Layer 2s like Polygon, and this is a summary of what he said. Layer 2s like Polygon also don't get expected backing. Some ecosystems get grants, audits, and marketing support. And he also expressed his frustration after spending lots on Ethereum infrastructure with no response or outreach. He asked, who exactly does the foundation prioritize their support? And then really quickly, this former Ethereum Foundation developer questions Vitalik B's influence, sparking debate. He's a former lead developer at Ethereum and has ignited debate within the crypto community by publishing a letter he sent to the foundation. In the letter, he questioned Vitalik oversized influence over the ecosystem, which was good because they should be speaking out. He warned that this creates risk of the foundation being captured by aligned interests and that a small group of individuals and VCs control most projects, and access to funding depends on relationships with the inner circle. And this is the thing. That is a common that's a common issue in crypto just in general. There's we're so used to being in these really tight-knit circles and that we don't necessarily expand outwards. But when you have a foundation and you're not doing good by the people, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? It's not good. We don't like it. We don't like it. I know Hedera Foundation does a lot of good work. VeChain, a lot of the other foundations support for building. And that's why I tell you guys, hey, anytime there's a foundation that that's offering grants and stuff, we like to cover it. So if you guys are interested in building something, you could go do it, and they're going to help you out, and they should. That's exactly what they should be doing. But I guess the ethos of cryptos is not with us as much as it used to be. Really quickly, we have to give a couple shout outs. So from Mr. Brady, major AWS cloud outage observed today where decentralized layer 1 and 2 networks with an over-reliance on AWS for node ops experienced downtime. Hedera network did not have this problem. And he wrote a blog in 2023 as to why. We love Brady, and I appreciate this because Hedera didn't go down. Hedera was unaffected during the outage, and Hedera consensus nodes are distributed across private data centers, co-location facilities, leased hardware, and various cloud providers, which means there's no over-reliance on any single host. Hedera is transitioning towards a permissionless model, which we love, and they're starting with community nodes and aiming for broader decentralized over time. The architecture and governance prioritize decentralization, uptime, and fault tolerance. And there's a blog if you guys want to learn more about it. But they didn't go down, which is important because everything was down yesterday. I couldn't even go to Amazon and order my gosh darn Halloween wig. But I did later. So shout out to them. Also, Chainlink. Despite today's widespread cloud outage impacting much of the public internet, Chainlink's Oracle service operated without interruption and remained fully operational. So Chainlink and Hedera did not go down. Over 26 trillion in cross-chain transactions run through Chainlink, and they secure 70% of the Oracle-enabled DeFi market. Love to see it. Absolutely love to see it. So good for that. Good for that. We love it. I'm not going to do, because I'm kind of running short on time. I want to cover all the Coinbase stuff that we got. And I'll probably cover some of this tomorrow, put it in a dedicated media for you. I'm just kind of, I want to try to always keep the streams below 30 minutes because it helps with the YouTube algorithm. Okay. So we did our little shouty shout on two blockchains that didn't go down. Hedera and who's messaging me? Okay. On Hedera and Chainlink, which is good because you should be paying attention to those blockchains as well. And again, when we talk, if you guys are watching me on X right now, if you guys are watching me on X, just because we talk about something doesn't mean you need to buy it. When I tell you to put it on your watch list, it's for a reason, and that's for you to like do your due diligence and stuff. And I own both stuff, and we are a partner with the Hedera Foundation because I like what they do. They've got the trifecta. So there's that. Now let's get into the Coinbase news because there's some pretty exciting stuff happening. So first and foremost, what's going on? Coinbase Asset Manager launches the Coinbase US Bitcoin Yield Fund. So let's go ahead and see a little bit what this is. This is, let's see, is it accredited or retail? It's to U.S. accredited investors, which again, this is something we need to continue to use our words for, our voices for, and be like, hey, we need to remove the accredited investor law. It's predatory. The fund is designed to seek excess returns over Bitcoin. So let's go ahead and read the little stuff over there. And so they partner with iTrustCapital, which was one of our partners. The reason why we do shout outs and we partner with them is because some people want to be able to merge over their IRAs and TradFi accounts to iTrust and use crypto that way, and that's our personal business. But anyways, this particular announcement will provide Bitcoin performance plus additional Bitcoin yield. Yield is generated through Bitcoin private credit lending and basis trading. It's available to accredited investors, not to retail. Available to certain retirement accounts in 2026. So if this is something you're interested in, check. And they are partnered with iTrustCapital for the launch, and the partnership allows investment through tax-deferred IRA accounts. And iTrust, if you guys don't know, they've got, they offer secure directed asset IRA and non-IRA accounts. Anyone can easily roll over a current IRA to a crypto IRA with iTrust. And they offer over trading of 80 crypto assets and precious metals like gold and silver. And you can use my code Wendy9 when you sign up, all of that jazz. So shout out to them. There's me. But again, I have an SEP for tax stuff, and it does help a lot. Now let's talk about the big news yesterday because there was a lot of stuff, a lot of stuff on with Coinbase. So we got to talk about that. So Coinbase acquired crypto fundraising firm Echo for $375 million. The platform allows startups to raise funds directly from their communities and will remain a standalone platform. I've never used them, so I don't know if it's good or not. I have no idea. I don't know if it's for accredited investors, if it's for Americans. I don't know how that works. I'm very against that type of stuff, but you know, it is what it is. But in addition to this, a little bit of announcement, they went ahead and they bought the up-only NFT which was Kobe's for $25 million. And this is also Kobe's company. So I mean, I don't know if it was like 25, if it was a $400 million deal, completely whatever it is, but they had a really popular podcast like way back in 2022. And he's just really well known on, him and Ledger are well known on X. But they bought the NFT to do 8 new podcasts. So it'll be very interesting stuff. And they're kind of going bantering back and forth. And as somebody who does marketing and consulting and all that type of stuff, I personally think that I think this is wonderful. I think it was a really, really great way to market. Again, I don't know much about the Echo platform, so I can't necessarily comment on that. But I think that the way that they went about it was very good because it got everybody like, there were some people mad, there were some people happy, like whatever. I mean, I personally think like, good for them. Like if you create a dope product and people compensate you, great. Like I think pocket watching people in like a good way to learn from them or to be proud of them or happy for them, that's dope. Love to see it. But pocket watching to be an a-hole, we don't like that. So I thought it was wonderful marketing. Coinbase has a horrible reputation right now. I can't make content on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and really kind of at all because I tried to work with Vivi, because I was really interested in the Blackpink stuff for my daughter, but it just didn't end up working out. But other than that, amazing community. You guys are great. But But I thought it was a really cool marketing thing that they did, whatever. It's going to be interesting to see if Coinbase will be able to get regain the favor back as far as crypto Twitter goes and whatnot. Also, Coinbase does tell U.S. Treasury old AML rules are broken, pushes tech fixes for crypto crime. One company that's really, really good at stopping crypto crime is Binance, and people are going to get mad at me that are saying that. But it's 100% true. I don't think people understand what Binance really does behind the scenes. I'm not going to get into it too much or be made a target. But basically, Coinbase is saying that current AML laws are outdated and ineffective for crypto compliance. They want regulatory safe harbors for responsible AI use and compliance. Okay. Current KYC rules for repetitive data sharing, creating privacy risks for targets and criminals. But the thing is Coinbase data hack was one of the biggest data hacks in crypto. And the amount of text messages and phone calls I get from that is absurd. Absolutely absurd. So I appreciate that they're trying to kind of fix that. Because they're going to end up becoming a crypto bank. They're one of the most well-recognized names in crypto, but at the end of the day, they do have a lot to They do have a lot to do. They urge the Treasury to recognize blockchain analytics and know your transaction screening as better tools. This is the thing. You can create all this type of stuff, decentralized IDs to monitor the process. I don't trust that at all. I don't trust that at all. Now, with that being said, in general, if you want this to work, you're going to need a better process. Not just like, oh, we're let the companies do it, because social media platforms in general have failed everybody. And if somebody tries to extort you, if somebody tries to steal your identity, if someone tries to get in your account, do any of those things, or they hack you and they drain you, where do you report that? You don't really have a place to report that. So maybe instead of doing that, we need to have a place to where it can be reported and then people can get to work. I don't know. Anyways, that's the show for today. This is our first stream on X. We'll be streaming Monday through Friday. We stream every day from 10:30 a.m. PT. Saturdays around 10. Sundays, of course. But thank you guys so much for joining. Make sure to smash the like, share this, all the cringe stuff. But yeah, I will be back. I need to eat. I'm actually getting hungry. So I hope you guys have a good day. I got to work on the second media pieces for you guys for the day, do my ticky-tacky, get the stuff out, other media stuff, but sending y'all love and light, and happy Taco Tuesday. Bye, babies.